when it comes to the goal and the direction, it's very, very important, not because of the goal, but because of the person that we become in the process. You're already well on your way. It just needs some little bit of fine tuning. What I would say is, when it comes to your goal, make sure that you're able to describe either a state or an experience that you would have now that you are living the outcome. So energetically, zest for life, these are all things that you know whether or not you have a zest for life. You know whether or not you wake up with a smile on your face. These are things that are pretty measurable. And so we had a participant in Denmark who had, for years, like, he tried everything in the system, psychiatry, psychology, like, all these things. Nothing really clicked for him. And then he started a program with us, and he decided that if he just woke up with a smile on his face every day, that would be an impossible goal for him, because he'd never experienced what true joy really was. And so that became his goal. And like 2-3 months into the process, he became aware one morning that he was just smiling joyfully as he was waking up. He was like, dang, there's no conscious effort on my part, and it feels really good. And I sort of have to get used to this feeling because it's so darn good. And oh shoot, will it ever last? Like, but so that was his goal, and it was very measurable. Either you smile in the morning or you don't smile in the morning. So, maybe find something that that when you're doing this habitually, that's when the goal is achieved. So you could start off with something like, I'm so happy and grateful now that I have full control over thoughts, feelings, and actions, which express itself in energy, zest for life, and something that's measurable. Every day it is so. Thank you very much. Something like that, So use energy, use zest for life, and then add a third thing that's measurable, that that will be an expression of that state that you're looking for. Because what you're looking for is more a state than anything. It's a way of showing up in the world. And the more you use these tools, the more you will allow that joy to radiate, because it's already there. We think we have to find the joy. We think we have to find the grounding and all, but it's already there. We just have to allow it, to shine a little bit more. And so that's really the key. And that's what we're working with. It's allowing that impulse of life to grow with you and through you, finding expression with and through you. And that's also always something that happens in the moment, never anywhere else. And for us folks who have a left brain, very linear way of approach to things, it's really about letting go of what we call psychological time. Psychological time is when we adhere to past or future scenarios emotionally. Either we're worried about something that we think is going to happen, or we regretfully experience some emotional stuff that has to do with something that happened yesterday that wasn't very constructive. So that's psychological time. It's very unhealthy. And the more we work with this, the more we are aware of clock time. We know what time it is. It's the thing on the computer or the phone or the watch or whatever. We're peripherally aware of that, but we have completely let go of psychological time. And we are now defining our own emotional state better and better in the moment, regardless of what's going on around us. And so that's an experience. It's not an understanding. You will never be able to grasp this intellectually. And so that's the bummer for somebody who really wants to grab it intellectually and really wants to pursue it and really want to make it happen. Like, when is it coming, this thing called joy? But the more you relax, let go, and surrender, and the more you're going to start naturally experiencing it. It's like yoga. We can understand what it is, and we can wrap our head around the idea that it has to do with postures and breathing and a yoga mat. And we can understand it, the components of it, but we don't actually understand what it is until we live it. And yoga is more a state that you're experiencing rather than an intellectual understanding. And it's the same with this. It's an experience rather than an intellectual understanding and apprehension. So if you, with that in mind, you're well on your way. Tweak the goal watch this recording a few times, just that thing about the goal statement in and of itself, because I cannot remember what I said, and because it just comes to my intuition. And if I want to try and repeat it or memorize it, it won't come out the same way, and I'll miss a word, and then it won't be the same. So, and maybe it doesn't speak to you at all, and that's okay too. You just want to use the framework and make something up that really does speak to you, where you go, okay, this I would love to experience, and it's measurable. There's some measurable component in there that I really would love. And so the idea is that you have that on a goal card. It's a simple sentence that is in present tense, never in I'm going to become, or because your subjective mind understands pictures, sounds, and emotions in the moment. So saying I'm going to will always be going to. So it's an experience now. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am living, experiencing, having full control, thoughts, feelings, and actions. It feels so great because I can do X, Y, Z. It's amazing how much change something as simple a foundation like that can do for a person. I've seen people rid themselves of mental illnesses, diagnoses, all sorts of things that were never more than a paradigm run wild. That's really all it was. It was just a paradigm that was controlling them. They weren't controlling their mind. The mind was controlling them. So we give them a diagnosis, stick a label on it, give them a pill, and hopefully the symptom will go away. Well, it won't in most cases. I'm not saying medication isn't good. Medication can be great. Just using that extreme to illustrate, if you can do it to that extreme with this, something as simple or relatively simple to grasp for you, it will be so quick and it will be so powerful for you. You'll start to feel a completely different sense of joy and harmony in the moment. We had a participant, Sandra. She had so much anxiety. She couldn't leave her house for 20 years. She had the diagnosis, panic anxiety, overly medicated, on a pension from the government. That's who she was. That's the label she had been given. And there was something inside of her that knew that wasn't her, that was something that wasn't her. That was something she had been assigned or in a box she'd put in. And she participated in this very program. And a short while later, 3-4 months maybe, she felt so different. And she came to one of our events. She asked me, can I please share my story? And the girl that formerly couldn't leave her house without getting sick took me by my hand, dragged me on stage to share her story. And it wasn't what she said, it was how she said it that was so overwhelming to all of us. Like, I couldn't recognize her. And this was like 4 or 5 months later, maybe. And I asked her on stage because I knew she couldn't associate with the thing that she had. And I said, Sandra, what was it called, the thing you had again? And she goes, oh my gosh, I can't remember. Her mind couldn't associate with the diagnosis she's had for 20 years. So I'm just all of that to say, it's a powerful process. It seems something overly simplistic, and don't let the simple process fool you. Success isn't complicated. It is actually pretty simple. It's just not easy to integrate. So, little warning there too. It's simple. It's not easy. It's relatively simple, but integrating these things on a daily basis, it's not as easy because you will have the old paradigm fighting you. This doesn't make any sense. I don't think I have time. The family needs some attention. Maybe breakfast is more important than all these things. So, little reminder to all of us, I guess, to check in with our standards and see, am I actually living like the person who is standing in the middle of the goal? Do I have the standards? Do I have the attitude? Do I have what the person would have who has achieved what I'm looking to achieve? Thank you so much for watching this video. I have linked to a couple more right here that I think you would like. Now, until next time, it's not who you are that holds you back. It's all the illusions of who you think you're not. This is Hansen. Thank you.